We back.
And the season is over. It's not a season in review. This is more of a championship show.
We didn't actually do a show since prior to the playoffs.
Yeah. Now we didn't do as many shows as we'd like to, but we're here now. What a season!
And the date is September 21st, 2023.
And we have champs.
And I will confidently tell you, and I thought about it long and hard. We've never had a World Series like we just had. It had it all.
It really did. Now, there's a lot of great World Series in our league, a lot of great World Series Sunday morning, a lot of great World Series Brooklyn, YMSL. A lot of great series have gone on over the years. I can name you. I have the pleasure of playing in a few.
True.
And emotions, up and down, roller coaster rides. But this one had...
What transpired will go from... Okay, we're not going to break down each game right now. We will a little bit.
A little bit.
But game one was a 10-7 final.
It was a crazy game.
And
a lot of errors. Fun baseball, though.
Featuring a home run to right center field over the fence.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And Diamond Busters were in the driver's seat. They were up 1-0 in the series.
Yeah, and after that game, if you asked anybody, this is the Diamond Buster series. That's what it looked like.
And then...
Even if they would have lost game two, I still think there was that feeling because they really busted out offensively.
But the way they lost game two... it proved... It kind of carried over into game three with
a little bit
the way they were in scoring runs, but game two we saw something which I will confidently tell you, and I could bet my house on this. We will never see this ever again.
I don't know if that's true or not, but I'll tell you this, and we did our research, it never happened, and we've been documenting softball in this community since the year 1979, I believe.
And when did fast pitch start?
So fast, very good. So 79, 80, 81, 82, every game that was played, at least we know in Deal, started with a 1-1 count, not fast pitch, like my brother just said. And umpires, we have it on video actually, there's videos online, calling too fast, no pitch, like that. So that, and there still was no perfect game.
So that's like I don't want to call it modern era. I don't even think that's... I don't want to disparage anything, obviously, but it's a different sport. We're playing a different league.
A lot of great players that we played with, as you and I were young getting into the league, were playing then. Nathan Cowell, Buka, the original Buka, David's dad.
Senior.
Senior, exactly. I see them on the videos being youngsters playing with no shirts on.
Rabbi Raymond Beta.
Yes, Rabbi Raymond Beta, exactly. Eddie Towell, the Eddie Beta, I'm sorry, the shortstop. Oh, there's a lot. There's plenty. Storefront, Jackie Eshko's father, but they didn't play really till 1984. 1984, Stevie Azer joined the league. A.B. Cohen, Ezra Ashkenazi.
I don't think Stevie Azer gets enough credit for being the pioneer of the fastball.
A little bit. But again, then Ike Yadid came into the fold, as I mentioned. A.B. Cohen, Chubby Kassab was in that mix. Ezra Ashkenazi,
Mala
was Ike Mala. As we got older, got in there also. And that's when the league, Ike Mavora became a pitcher as years went on. Jeffrey Saka, A.B. Saka. I'm sure there's a lot of names I'm missing, but just to name a few, never has a perfect game occurred in our community.
We've had double-digit strikeout games. We've had, trying to think what else. We've had any no-hitters even? I don't even know if there's been no-hitters.
Yeah, that's a good question. I know Mitchell Jamal has a ball for a one-hitter with 2 out and nobody on in the 7th inning, and he has a ball signed. He gave up 1 hit. It was in a big playoff game. That was one. Now I was part of a one-hitter with Red Nesser, 2 out in the 7th, but and he had 8 walks in the game. I love Shalom. But
as we're building up to this, we have had so many of these legendary, iconic pitchers throughout the community. Never happened. Now for this to happen in game 2,
after losing game 1,
giving up 10 runs in game 1.
That's
right. Losing game 1, back against the wall, championship.
And forget about the pitcher for a second. The team played awful defensively as well.
Right, and then just out of nowhere, snap of the finger, everything turned. And it was both teams. It was a 1-0 final.
Which is also amazing for One Team, One Dream. They had a lot of pressure on them. You know, 1 bad inning, forget about giving up the no-hitter.
They could have lost the game in the 7th.
Exactly, a bloop, and a blast, and boom, it's over.
A walk?
Exactly. So, really unbelievable. The fact that the pitcher was my son, he's 16 years old.
That's also part of this. A 16-year-old did this.
Yeah, he's a big kid. We get it. He's
and
bigger
again,
than most. But
when we have to put this in context as well. The team he went up against is such a stacked lineup. Look at the names up and down. You have the Abadi brothers, Gabe Carlos. You have T.I. You have Hank DeWeck. You have the emerging Yehuda Fallis. You have Leo Seton. You have Buka. Nathan Kushner, former batting champion. The lineup is so deep.
7 strong hitters, and the other batters can hit as well. So it was a real lineup. It wasn't a joke. They're in the World Series for a reason. Edmund Beta, as you mentioned, good swing. It was amazing. So to have a perfect game that already made the series, it put it up there in the top of all time.
But
already.
now that perfect game wouldn't be as special if that team lost the World Series.
That's one. And number 2, if Game 3 of the World Series ended up being an 8-0 rout, I mean, it'll be a great World Series, but okay, team won, 8-0, not cool. Game 3, we came crisp night, gorgeous.
It was a full week that was in between games,
which worked out because everybody was talking about it over the holiday.
Right, it was a conversation piece, and now it also led to a lot of the emotions that built up into the game, and the young 16-year-old had a full week to think about it. The opposition had a full week to think about getting perfected, and they came in, and I gotta give both teams credit. There was no nonsense last night.
Not at all.
It was strictly softball. Great umpiring crew we had last night.
Credit to Paul, Eddie, and Matt. We missed Tommy and Phil. They weren't there, but our umpires did great last night. God bless you guys. The 3-man crew did a great job.
And now the way this game started, it was right where we left off. We had a 1-0 game in Game 2, and this game was scoreless in the 4th.
That's right. Yitzhak threw a perfect inning in the 1st inning. After that, I think Teddy Ishak broke it up.
He did.
But Yitzhak got the first hit. Yitzhak had 3 hits on the night. Now let's get down to that last game, because that's what we all look at now. As Sammy said, I have to bring this up. Sorry. Edmund Beta is not getting enough credit on how good he pitched.
Amazing. Games 2 and 3, being a loser, giving up a grand total of 3 runs in 16 innings.
4 runs, because 1 run and then 3. But he pitched unbelievably. He lost 1-0, and the 1 run was not on him. It was an error by his field.
I mean, you
2 outs.
You can make the argument that last night the errors were on his field. Gabe should have made that play that Stephen Gindy hit.
Yeah,
and then the Joe S. ball was a ground ball, hard hit. Don't get me wrong.
The ball was hard hit.
But that was also at Kush. That could have been played easily.
True.
So.
And the 2 runs that the other team scored as well, it was infield botches. So you're right. The pitchers.
It was at the end of the day. We said this. The teams were so evenly matched. I want to run through this quickly. If you look at position by position, if you really look at it and break it down and get granular over here, it was such a dead heap even matchup. And it really came down to the pitchers. Both pitchers came to play. And usually the team that breaks defensively more is the team that's going to lose.
I can throw out a couple of interesting things, but like second base, Carlos had the nod over Avi Dweck defensively. I think Avi would tell you that 1,000 times. But Avi last night, offensively,
it was great.
Had some big hits. He got robbed by Leo Seton.
Yeah, but now look at left field, for example. Yehuda Fallis is a great hitter, but Yitz Safdie, also a great fielder, but Yitz Safdie, he made a difference last night on left field, and he had 3 hits.
And he had 3 hits, so Yitz had the nod. But Fallis had 2 hits last night. So like you're saying, this is
center
a good
field, Buka versus Joe S. Right field, you have Albert Sitt versus Leo Seton.
Albert Sitt's been playing great.
Leo Seton made a crazy diving grab last night. First base.
And watching the highlights, Leo Seton hit
first
a rocket.
base. Hank DeWeck in Game 1 with the home run went 4 for 4, but then Barry Finkel with the walk-off.
That's right. Now the only really hardcore earned run of the World Series of the last game was the last run.
Yeah.
Because Joe Civarati hit a frozen rope that almost took off Edmund Beda's head.
Avi Dweck with the base hit to right.
Avi a hard hit.
And then
Al Sitt moved him over, and then Finkel, got the base hit. A real hit.
This is a really nice subtext to this whole story of Barry Finkel not being in the league. Draft night was booted. Somehow finds his way back in.
He's too good. Wait a second. He's not that
He's not good enough.
He's this. Then it goes.
And then all of a sudden,
playing great at first. Now he made errors, and now he got the game-winning hit. He felt like a glove on that team. It worked out, and befitting. He gets that last hit, and he's very happy. It's his first championship he's ever had. He said.
Speaking of championships, Stephen J. Gindy, back-to-back captain championship squads, not done many times, and the league is extremely competitive to do that, and always finding a way to bring that group together. Look at back-to-back years, the team names. You had United We Stand and One Team, One Dream. That's a mentality.
That's great.
And the team buys into that mentality.
And to say that, they were the best team and they had to win. They were down to their final 6 outs. Sammy showed me. Yitzhak, he hit a pop-up that maybe could have been caught, and it landed right in the Bermuda Triangle foul.
So you had
between Teddy Ishak,
T.I., Fonz, and Edmund all converging, and it just bounced.
And
then
the very next two pitches, I think it was one pitch and then another one, base hit. And he ends up starting that inning and ended up tying the game. Like, little things like that. You could say they were the best team. They could have won and should have won.
When you're so evenly matched, those are the small things that you have to look at that make the difference.
And they were down 2-0 in the sixth. They tied it up. And then just 10 minutes later.
Then everybody just went to sleep again, and we didn't have any runs till the ninth.
Well, then I thought Hank Dweck, just 20 minutes later, maybe I thought he hit a ball over the fence again. That hung up right there. He's a monster.
He's a monster. I will tell you, I firmly believe that there was dampness on the ball because the outfield grass was wet. It was a pretty cool night. I think under different conditions, that ball...
July 24th, in the heat, when there's no rain.
That ball is over the fence, but off the bat, if you watch the highlights I just posted, Hank actually stops and looks at it, admires for a while. Did I hit it over?
Yeah, he had an Alonzo look, like, you know, like it was all excited, but it just hung up, and he hit it probably to the best outfielder in the league, who flagged it down. And he actually caught that ball like by his hip.
Yep.
Which is pretty cool. What a game. What a series.
What a series.
Really great.
Listen, it had it all.
There's not much to say because it's all on tape. We have the live. Sammy has his highlights. We have every angle. Speaking about angles, Leo Setton's catch. By the way, that's a player. Last year, he came on late. Teddy Ishak actually by the draft.
I mean, if you watch my draft show analysis last year, I was singing his praises. Everyone was bashing me for the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season.
And then he started picking it up.
And then he got comfortable. That's really what it is.
And he got comfortable. And now, even this year, when he started the season, he wasn't getting any playing time really. A little bit. It worked out.
Cream rises to the top.
Yeah, and he played great in right field. And we know he could hit now. So a guy like that in his sophomore year, I know he didn't win, but in the finals, made a name for himself in the league. It's great.
2 sophomores in the World Series. Yitzhak Sutton, and then now we're talking about Leo Setton. So that's a pretty big deal.
Unbelievable, a lot of fun. Yitzhak Sutton winning a championship. I mean, God bless him. It's incredible.
It's funny, last night, Yitzhak, in his second year in the league, won his first championship. It was Edmund's third year. They're tied in championships. If you want to match up their career trajectories from this point on, keep your eye on that.
Yeah, I asked him last night, you want to play next year? He goes, we crazy Daddy? I'm excited.
Of course, Gabe Abadi said he's coming back with a vengeance. Listen, if you're a part of the series, there's no way you're not hungry for more.
And there should be other guys hungry. I mean, talking about hungry, by the way, we didn't do it last year, and we do plan on doing it this year. And it's going to be a double award ceremony. We plan on having the award ceremony this year like we did a couple of years ago. We want everybody to attend. We're going to make it fun. We're going to make it nice. And we're going to announce the winners of the Gold Glove in 2022
and 3
and 23. Whoever's going up to announce it will do both. We're excited about it, and we're going to announce that date soon. So that's something that we did fail to do last year. We didn't have time. We're going to make it happen this year by hook or by crook. Looking forward.
And it's going to be exciting because we're going to have all the candidates for 2 years, so it should be a nice attendance.
Yeah, we hope so, and that's what always makes it good. A reason to get everybody together and have fun with
the softball community at large has to find excuses in the offseason to get together, and this is a great excuse.
And the softball community at large, and this puts us in a bind, and it does every year, is growing.
Yes.
Problem is, our league really can't grow much.
Capacity.
Yeah, we're stuck at 7 teams. If we could come up with a way to get an 8th team and make it work, we are concocting some ideas. We're working on it. We'll talk about that at a different time if we can make it happen.
It's too premature, but
but it is growing. The youth that's shining. So there's some real ball players.
You're saying
just in this series.
We have the whole influx of guys from Lakewood that are joining, and there are some impact players. Don't get me wrong. Then we have, like you said, the next crop of kids that are
a bit nutsy in here.
They're literally watching every single game from the sidelines, asking, "Am I in next year?" And these kids are good ball players. You know, they're in the same class as Sammy Soria played in.
That's right.
When you coach them, so we know these kids are good ball players.
They could be in it. They could be involved. And we're looking for diehards. I've been talking about YMSL. We're talking to Norman about the same thing. Well, he's looking for diehards, guys that are going to live and breathe the league and love it. It's a community thing. We want it to be that way, and everybody loves it. And it's only growing that way, and we love doing it. And this year, thank God, it worked out great. We had a hitch here and there early in the season with a mistake rain out. Right? We had one when we called it, and we should have done it.
It happens.
Okay, it happens. And then we were talking. There was little, and then it just rolled.
Yeah, no.
It was awesome.
Then it was smooth sailing, and the way the postseason unfolded, and the teams,
great.
the two worst teams didn't make it, like we said in the previous show, and the best teams that were all jockeying for position, and every series ended up being a great series. And
Right. The only thing, if I would go back, I wish Gucci would have put up a better fight in the semifinals.
yeah, but you know their
That's
team was a flawed first place team by week 4 because they were winning on offense, and in this league you don't win just on offense. You need
Fair.
defense.
I hear, but that's the only series. Every other series was crazy. I mean, there was a lot of offense in the One Team One Dream against
Yeah, but you know what?
Titletown series.
You're missing something because in that series, who they played? They played the Diamond Busters, right?
The Dime Busters played Gucci.
Right, and that's where Albert Sit had a coming out party. So
No,
that
no. Albert Sid was on One Team One Dream.
Oh, my apologies.
Yeah, Diamond Busters beat Gucci and ripped them apart.
Right, yeah, they didn't mince meat out of them. Correct.
Yeah, Gucci just wasn't fully prepared. Their head, they were.
It's funny. You look at that team. Ali was pretty good on the mound,
He did okay.
but the
He did
defense
good.
betrayed him week in,
Defense
week
did-
out.
Defense did let him down. I think people in the league were going crazy that they were always allowed to get either a Mo Casson at third or an Uri Adler at third.
Kinda hurt them.
I do think so. When you don't have a team, one dream, when you don't have a unit, there's something not together about it, you lack.
Right,
You lose
it
something.
becomes almost pickup style.
Yeah, a little bit. And that team, as it is, had a lot of voices.
I don't know why we're talking so much about that
Gucci, you're right.
squad, but
Because it was that one series that I wish was a little bit more competitive. But at the end of the day, like you said, the two best teams were where they were supposed to be. And we saw a series for the ages. A lot of great series over the years, but why was it the best? Stuff that happened.
well, we had history.
History. Ball of over the fence in the finals. That was amazing.
Perfect game,
It
as
was
we said,
a
ad
perfect game.
nauseam.
That is amazing.
And then bottom of the ninth,
Extra
listen,
innings.
You said it yesterday. Two things. You said, by the way, both teams were debating play 7, play 9, play 7. Both teams got their wish. We
We
played
got
7
both.
and we played 9.
We actually got both, which was really cool.
And also another thing that you said yesterday, nice nugget. Last night was the 50th game played
Right.
of the season. It's a nice round number.
It is a round number, and it finished off on a bang. And as I said on the live broadcast, thank you everybody for being part of it because it was great. We have some messages coming in the future, as I mentioned. We have the awards dinner, and I might be missing a few things here. We always do, but it was awesome. It was awesome. There's one other thing. We missed some players this year.
Yeah.
Guys that were missed. Now, the league will always, and nobody, Sammy says this line always, nobody's bigger than the league.
Nobody.
ever will be. And this got incorporated in Sunday Morning Why
The show will always go on.
Exactly. If it's not this guy playing short, someone else will do it.
Listen, you got to give other people opportunities, and they're not going to get the opportunities unless some of the stars no longer are in, or some of the mainstays are no longer in.
So like this year, Yehuda Fowler's pitched. We didn't think he was going to go near the mound with Edmund Beta, but it worked out. And we see maybe he's a pitcher in the future. He doesn't care if he does. He said he'll do it.
We
He
have
won't
got,
do it.
you
but-
saying pitcher is, are we going to have a return of Maxi Deed and
Right.
A.B. Saka?
There you go.
Or is Joey Cohen going to come back? But there's so many of these wild card
Right.
questions about registration. I mean, we're getting way ahead of ourselves, but
No, but it shows there's so many multiple. Like Eddie Nissim came back, and he was good.
all right, he ended
started slow,
and he ended up coming on
and he
strong.
ended up coming on really, really well. And Eddie Nissim, if he wants back, he has a full right to expect the spot. Now, nobody can expect anything. That's where it comes very interesting. When we get another team in,
There's star players
we'll see
also
about-
that were injured that wanted to play. And you have,
Right.
there's just, again, a lot up in the air.
Zach Ashkenazi back, hopefully.
Jack Abadi.
Jack Abadi, who's coming back from injury. I hope he's doing great. I saw him recently. He looked great.
Spoke to him today.
So hopefully he'll be back. Yeah, a lot of stars, a lot of players. Now, year to year, different guys come, they don't come, so it goes either way. But what a season. Thanks
fun.
again. It was a grand old time. Till 2024.
2024.
See you then.